Hi, this is Ildi, and today I'd like to show you 5 different ways how to decrease your stress level. The 5 different ways will target 5 different areas in the brain. The one thing that they have in common, they all will help to create balance between our fight or flight or rest and digest system. And how we actually manage stress, this is a reflection of how those two systems, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system, works together. If one of them is always in a constant override, and that's usually the fight or flight, we become stressed all the time. And when we become stressed all the time, our immune system will go down. Now we need to maintain a really healthy immune system so we won't get sick, and that's why we need to decrease the fight or flight response and increase the parasympathetic system, which is the rest and digest. So let's get started. Here we go. 5 different systems. Let's start with the eyes first. I have 2 toys for the eyes. One of them is an eye mask and one of them is a pinhole glasses. You can probably see there are little holes through the glass. Very simple. Eye mask, you just bring it over your eyes and then cover your eyes. You can do this seated, lying down. Please don't walk around with it. That will not reduce your stress, that will increase your stress. Pinhole glasses, you can order them on Amazon. I will include the link, and you just put the pinhole glasses on. How these 2 things works through the visual system and the brain, that they actually limit through the pinhole glasses or completely exclude all kind of visual stimulus that comes through the eyes, and that could be threatening to the nervous system. Let's not go into any further than this. It is just 2 options to release the stress from our visual system, and once we release the stress from one system, it will help to decrease the overall stress. Next, releasing the stress from the auditory system, which is your inner ear system. You probably all have some earplugs at home. It doesn't need to be full, the headphones that block out all the noise, although sometimes they will help. Just a regular earplug, you would put it into both ears, and you could still hear the TV, you could still hear your kids, you could still hear your spouse if you choose, but it will reduce the level of that extra auditory stimulus, and it will down-regulate your fight or flight response. That was your earplugs, and it works through your auditory system. The next thing, I have 2 toys for that. That works for your tactile system, which is touching through your belly, through the gut and brain connection, and between the gut and brain there is a nerve. Well, there are several nerves, but there is a very important nerve connection that has a loop feedback system back and forth. That is your 10th cranial nerve, that is your vagus nerve, and that is responsible for being able to down-regulate, being able to upregulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest, digest, calm, and homeostasis. So if you do not have a hot water bottle that you can fill up with hot water and put it on your belly, seated, standing, lying down, you could always grab a hot towel, put it in the microwave, or a blanket, put it in the microwave, maybe not, but just something that keeps you warm all around the belly. And you can keep that there for a prolonged period of time. The other thing I find very useful is, this is a trimming belt belt slim belt, let's get slim kind of thing. People use this for weight loss. You can find it on Amazon. I can include the link if you'd like. So what this do is, as I said, people do use it for weight loss. You would just wrap it around your waistline, you would pull it really tight, and then you would just wrap it and it would squeeze you. Now the way people don't know how it works, they use it for weight loss, but it actually creates this tactile stimulus through the proprioceptors of the skin and also in the organs in the body, and that will create a safety, that will help to create a safety net, a safety kind of sensation through the whole body, through the gut. And again, very important, when the gut feels calm, it can send those good signals up via the vagus nerve to the brain. That will increase the parasympathetic activity. It will increase balance, homeostasis, and peace. So yes, it might be helpful with weight loss too, considering the muffins I just had for breakfast. The way it works is whenever the parasympathetic nervous system getting a little bit of boost, the sympathetic, the flight or fight, has to decrease. And I'm sure you have heard that from me before. When there is a constant sympathetic override, the metabolism shuts down. So just by increasing the homeostatic system, the metabolism can also increase. So yes, it might be helpful for weight loss. I don't know, I just use it for to help to calm me down. You could do both. You could have the trimming belt around your waistline, and you could also have the hot pack on your belly. This is really a nice way to go to sleep at night or to take a nap. The other system, we have two more. I'm going to take this off since I'm not really stressed out right now. Yes, I am. So that would be our respiratory system. You have heard me talking about the breath quite a lot. So a very good and a very quick way to balance the two part of the nervous system, the fight or flight and the parasympathetic nervous system. I'm sure you all have a paper bag at home, and I'm sure you all know how to use it. So we're not going to go through that. You cover nose, cover mouth, breathe in, breathe out into the paper bag. That is a really great way to quickly reset the balance between the two nervous systems. It is a quick fix when you actually flip out, when you're having an anxiety attack. Make sure that you're seated so you're not losing balance if there is too much CO2 goes up to your brain. The other thing that I find really, really useful when I feel a little bit stuffy and it doesn't let me breathe through my nose, using the neti pot with a little bit of sinus salt. You can YouTube how to use that just by clearing the nostrils. I'm so not going to show you the neti pot use. Just by clearing the nostrils and opening up the sinuses, it can help to release the constant gasping for air, and the constant gasping for air is increasing sympathetic activity. Every time we take a breath through the mouth, we are giving into stress. We are letting the fight or flight system get into gear again. So we do need to keep the nostril open, the sinuses open, so we can truly breathe through the nose. Couple of other things that could be helpful with nose breathing, and there is a couple of videos I already sent out. The right aid strip, if the neti pot didn't do the trick, you would just open the nostril strip, the right aid strip, and you would put it right across your nose. It will lift the skin and it will help to release the tension from the sinuses so you can breathe through your nose. And the other thing, a piece of tape or a band-aid right across your mouth. So you will make sure that you would not accidentally breathe through the mouth. I use those at night. It really helps to keep my mouth shut, which I can't do during the day, and breathe through the nose. The main takeaway from here, as I said, every time you take a breath through the mouth, you increase in sympathetic activity, you allow the stress level to increase. Our job right now is to bring that down in any way we can. And we have one more system left that I would like to show you how to target, and that is again that nerve that I mentioned earlier, the vagus nerve, and also a spinal tract, which I'm not going to go into what it does, but is enough to know that whenever we use and activate that spinal tract, we help not also to decrease the sympathetic system, but also to decrease pain sensation. And people with chronic pain during stressful period of time, those chronic pain sensations are increasing. So 2 toys. One of them is a Homedix frog or rabbit massager from Amazon, $7.99, $9.99. So there's a little button, you can press that, and the whole thing, yes, it lights up, but that's not the point, it vibrates. So you can actually create and place it on different parts of the body to help you to create a calming sensation. Couple of spots is really helpful to place directly through the crown of the head, behind the ears, because that is where your vagus nerve is the closest to the surface, or one area directly behind the ears, both ears. Directly behind your head and neck, where your neck meets your skull, that is again an area where the vagus nerve is very close to the surface. So we do have access to those areas, and this is a great way to help that nerve that is the main calming nerve in the body increase some activity. Now the other toy I do have is called the Z-Vibe. Not sure why the name is, you can find it on Amazon too. And what it does is like a pencil kind of thing. It comes with different heads, and when you twist the bottom, it gives you a little bit of vibration. It's a different frequency. So what you could do with this is, you could do a lot of things, we're not gonna go there. I'd like to point to the end that turns on, and I would put that end directly into my ear, where the ear has this little knot into the inner ear, a little bit further up, where the ear canal has this tiny tiny shape, is like a quarter of a circle. And you would just put that in there, and you would hold it for 10, 15, 30 seconds. I would do it on both sides because we have 2 pairs of the vagus nerve. So, trying to create balance between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system will help you to maintain an even stress level, or sometimes when one flips higher and gets in an override, and that's usually the sympathetic, the fight or flight, you would be able to use any of these toys to bring the balance between those 2 nervous systems, 2 parts of the nervous system. And there is one more thing that is very useful. Since when stress levels are really high, in order to be able to get rid of stress, we also need to encourage lymphatic drainage. So you would find your left collarbone and your left collarbone and your sternum. And you would find 2 or 3 finger width, depending on how wide your fingers are. You would just bring, let's say 3 finger width onto the collarbone. You would pull the skin down, and you would find a soft spot in there. And you would just tap on it. That is where most part of the body empties the lymphatic drainage. So your lymph system is basically the garbage system of the body. all right, the sewage system of the body. So we do need to encourage that that system is clearing out. Now the good thing is, once you have the frog, you can actually just have the frog holding in there. Why am I not doing this on the right side? I probably would do it on the right side too, but if I want to have a high payoff, I would definitely do the left side, because the right side of that same spot only empties the upper right body part with the right arm. So the left side of the body, the full left side of the body, and the full right side of the legs and the face, everything is emptying into the left side. So let's look at how would this look if you want to stop, because you can stop each system. If you're really freaked out, you can stop all the system and all the sensory stuff that we talked about on the top of each other. You could use all the props or almost all the props, and this is what it would look like. Maybe, maybe not. It sounds and it looks silly, but practicing just maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different system, targeting different system, different times of the day, or really putting everything together and having a 10-minute routine per day, or breaking it up to 5 2-minute routine. Depends on what you have, what kind of time you have available, and how much stressed you are. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, this is Ildi, and this was your sensory reset and distress me kit. Let me know if you have any questions.